Did you know you'd have to maintain 235,773 streams per month just to make the national minimum wage in the United States? You got a ton of streams and you're still broke like the rest of us. But did you also know that the royalties you get from your music distributor are not the only royalties you can collect on streams? Breaking down music streaming royalties for independent artists, let's get to work.
Jimmy, make music.
Today we're going to talk about royalties for music streams and sales. What we're not talking about is sync licensing royalties, that is in the form of TV, film, commercials, etc. I've made a video on sync licensing before. I'll leave it in the description. So today I'm going to break down streaming royalties in its simplest form. Too many times I see infographics like this, and like this, and this, making royalties a little bit more confusing than they have to be for independent artists. I think a lot of the confusion stems from seeing things like songwriter and publisher and recording owner and copyright owner and the artist and the performer. If you're a true independent artist, then all of these are you. If you're a solo artist, it makes it even easier because it's genuinely just you. If you're in a band or have a team, I recommend setting up an LLC or at least having a DBA so the money all flows to one entity and you and your team can divvy that money up appropriately. Okay, now that the songwriter, the publisher, the recording owner, and the artist are all one entity, let's dive into the 4 different types of royalties you can collect on your streams and downloads. Number 1, from your distributor. This is the royalty for owning the master recording. You get this from your distributor, i.e. DistroKid or TuneCore, Amuse, Ditto, whoever you're using for distribution. Now, how much is that? You'll often see these graphics on how much streaming services pay out per stream, and the payout is always different because it's not that cut and dry. Streaming services don't typically pay per stream. The money made from your music is pooled into one big lump sum and then paid out as a percentage to your distributor for use of your song. It has to be to simplify the process because the rate can change depending on how the listener interacts with your song. In other words, was it an interactive use or a non-interactive use of the song? That is, was the song searched for, then clicked on to play? Was it streamed randomly in a playlist? Was it streamed by a premium or a free user? Was it used in a promotion? What country was it played in? And to top it off, a distributor can even negotiate these rates. You want to curb that per stream mentality. Now feel free to use a music streaming calculator, but keep in mind you're just getting an estimate with that. Royalty type number 2, those from your performing rights organization. So the main PROs that we typically see are ASCAP, BMI, and SESAC. There are others though. There's a small cost to become a member of these PROs. It's usually around $100, but it's most necessary. These organizations collect royalties on behalf of the publisher and the songwriter, you, and streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music pay them a blanket licensing fee. Your PRO keeps a small percentage of that to stay afloat and then divvies the difference between the songwriters and the publishers. So make sure you're a member of a PRO and that your song is registered in your account. The important information to input is the ISRC code. That's a digital code that identifies your song. You get that from your distributor. PROs can collect interactive and non-interactive streaming royalties on your behalf, so make sure you're signed up with one. The next type of royalties are often overlooked, and they are mechanical royalties. As put by Songtrust, mechanical royalties are earned through the reproduction of copyrighted works in digital or physical formats. Songwriters and publishers are paid mechanical royalties per song sold, downloaded, and streamed via on-demand streaming services. So that's a royalty on interactive use like Spotify or Apple Music, where your song can be searched, clicked, and played. So in short, you're due a mechanical royalty whether you've sold a vinyl, a cassette tape, a download, or you've been streamed. So where do you collect these royalties from? There used to be one main company that collected all these royalties, and that's Harry Fox. Now the workload has been split into 2 agencies that handle mechanical royalties. You have Harry Fox, whose membership is $100, one-time fee, and they collect royalties for the physical media, like cassette tapes and vinyl. Then you have the Mechanical License Collective, which is free to sign up for, and they collect for digital mechanical royalties, or those streams and downloads on interactive use services. While those 2 agencies do work in conjunction with one another, you need 2 separate accounts. So one for Harry Fox and one for MLC. The last type of royalties are collected by Sound Exchange. These are non-interactive digital performance royalties and are collected when your song appears on Pandora, iHeartRadio, satellite TV, and cable music stations like Music Choice. These are paid on the sound recording to the owner of the masters or the copyright holder. Even the featured artist can get in on these, which is great because in the past, Just because you sang a song didn't mean you were granted royalties. You had to be a writer, a publisher, or own the master. Sound Exchange is the only company in the United States that can collect these types of royalties, which sounds kind of scary, but they are very upfront and transparent with what they do and don't do. And registration is free. Just to recap, there are 4 main types of royalties you get on your streams. One is from your digital distributor. So that's like Ditto and DistroKid, Amuse, TuneCore. Second type is from your PRO, your performing rights organization. That's ASCAP, BMI, SESAC. Number 3, collect from the Mechanical Licensing Collective for your digital mechanical royalties and Harry Fox for your physical mechanical royalties. And number 4, collect royalties from Sound Exchange for digital performance royalties for non-interactive services, so Sirius XM, iHeart, cable, and satellite TV. So just a quick tip, if you live in the United States, you might want to look into publishing administration companies that will handle your performing rights royalties, that's ASCAP and BMI, and your mechanical royalties all in one place. In most of the UK, that's the only way it's done, but in the US, we've actually split those responsibilities. But if you use TuneCore or CD Baby as your distributor, they both have paid upgrades that include publishing administration services. So most of your royalties would be under one roof, with the exception of those collected by Sound Exchange. If you don't use TuneCore or CD Baby, you can look into companies like Songtrust or Centric for your music publishing admin needs. Or don't and keep it all in-house. But either way, don't leave money on the table. While it might not be that much money, it's still ours. I hope this video was helpful. I'll leave links to everything and more in the description. Please comment with any questions and be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. Till the next one, guys. Peace.
Jimmy, make music.